those open doors where I am now, where I am now. I'm in a special place. I tell you all embrace where I am now.
It's now time for the most talked about radio show in the whole wide world. That's FYI Radio Show with your host, Miss Yolanda, the Lady Hinton. I'm Everette, the co-host. The music that you hear in the background is none other than Miss Yolanda, the Lady Hinton, where I am now. And if you'd like to see us live in WGPL 1350 studio, WMVA 88.9 FM studio, all you have to do is go to Everette's Facebook page, Miss Yolanda, the Lady Hinton's Facebook page, and guess what? You can see us live right here in the studio. And if you want to hear us all over the world, all you have to do is go to PCE1400.com, WGPL1350.com. Click and listen. Don't forget to go to Church Webcast and click and listen. And now I want to introduce to some and present to others the host of the most talked about radio show in the whole wide world, Miss Yolanda, the Lady Hinton. And a pleasant good morning to you.
Good morning, Mr. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood.
Would you, could you, will you be my neighbor?
Let's welcome our neighbors. Let's welcome WGPL 1350 AM listeners.
Peace 95.3, WMVA 88.9, WPCE 1400, and WGPL 1350. Good morning.
Facebook Live is on and popping. Let's also welcome Twitter, LinkedIn, YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok. Make sure you like, share, comment, and subscribe. And we promise we'll shout you out.
You promise?
Promise. Go to all our pages, all the platforms. Please subscribe. Go to our YouTube channels at FYI Radio Show host Yolanda Hinton. Or you can always go to Cristo Records 1, CRISTO Records 1. You can like, share, comment, and subscribe, and we promise we'll shout you out.
Shout out.
All right, Mr. E, it's Fun Friday. It's the weekend.
That's right. It's the weekend. The temperature on the outside right about now, it's a little 59 going to 60 degrees on today. Partly cloudy. Might get a little rain.
All right, a little bit of rain, but I tell you what, it's really nice. And looking at the weather for the days ahead, we got a little 70s getting ready to creep up here on the Hampton Roads area. I'm just too excited about that. Because, look, this is winter. Is it winter yet? 21st?
No, we're still in fall.
All right, but we have, I think, one more day.
That's right.
And we are jumping into the cold weather. Look, the fall gave us some ups and downs, but the cold weather's coming, and we can expect it to be cold. Maybe some snow later on in the winter. But hey, just make sure you all have all your gear, everything ready for the cold, especially here in our area.
That's right. Don't forget to make sure you put your coats or what. Don't put them on. You can put them on the side because until the temperature change, right now it's 55 degrees and look partly cloudy, but old man winter is right around the corner. So, hey, get them ready. Do your winter cleaning, your fall cleaning, and you like you do your spring cleaning.
Absolutely. I want to remind you all that we did the current job list on Wednesday. I have reposted it this morning. You all can go up there and get the current job list. It's on our Facebook pages, and you can get it at LinkedIn too. So make sure those jobs, a lot of those jobs are still available, and there are a lot of good jobs at that. So make sure you revisit our pages so you can get that current job list.
That's right. Don't forget, anybody can get a job. If you think that because you've been incarcerated that you cannot get a job, something is wrong with you. You can get a job because they want you to have a job so you can pay your fine.
Absolutely. So this is FYI's Fun Friday segment. What's in your closet? Issues concerning women. And I tell you what, there's a lot going on with women. I wanted to mention first a little bit about what's in the news, breaking news, of course, this week, Mr. E, and that was the passing of the Epstein bill. And man, talking about them taking it through the House, through the Senate, and on the president's desk. That just came. I mean, so quick. They thought it was going to be a lot of drama. There was going to be a lot of changes. But all of a sudden, people begin to understand that, look, this is a serious matter, and we need to go ahead and expose this information to the public and get it where we can see it openly and understand what happened in our country with the trafficking of young women.
Just in case you want to know what the Epstein bill is, the Epstein File a Transparency Act is a law signed November the 19th, 2025, that requires the Department of Justice to release all unclassified and communications documents.
And why shouldn't they? And why wouldn't they, Mr. E?
Well, they should release them because this can be held for those who are not playing the game right.
Yes.
There's some bad communication, some hidden agendas,
Yes.
and some closet kings, and everything that's in the closet is coming out.
Absolutely. Now, the thing about it, a lot of people thought it was just about, the trafficking of women, but it's bigger than that. It's we get that information so we can see, who could easily have a system going where young girls, maybe boys, were trafficked and nobody could do anything about it. They would tell people and nobody would help. So there was the powers that be that kept it in the closet or kept it hidden or was paid to do this, that, and the other. These are the things that we're going to see in that paper. So President Trump, make sure you drop it. You got 30 days. Let's see what's in it and why this has happened so it won't happen anymore. Somebody said, Mr. E, is still going on.
Well, it is still going on behind closed doors, and it ain't got out yet, and that's why your president said that he can do whatever he wants to do when he wants to do, and nobody would ever question him.
Well, let's not let it be done like that. Let's not take democracy and throw it in the trash can. Let's find out, why is it that this was a cover-up? Why are these high officials and all these other folk up there in those listings? Let's find out what this is all about. And I tell you what, the victims are happy and they want justice and they want it now.
30 days.
So anyway, this is our women's segment, and our topic is women's needs in society. Now, we just did men's needs. We talked about things that men need. Everybody have human needs. We all have basic human needs. But I noticed, Mr. E, that when we talk about men, we talk about some things that are a little bit different than we do with women, because women have a different journey and definitely a different role at times to play in society. Some of the key areas of what women need includes equality in education, employment, and politics, and freedom from violence and discrimination.
That's right.
Specific needs include equal pay, access to quality health care, and reproductive rights, land and property ownership, and freedom from gender-based violence, addressing systematic and cultural barriers as essential for women to have equal opportunities and participate fully in all aspects of society.
And I believe that should be true. That's all true, and that they should have rights. All humans, I believe, men, women, and everybody should have rights. They should not be no discrimination, whether what the gender may be. But since there is a problem in the world today, and they gender strucken, yeah, they need to be addressed.
But you know, it's funny. We live in the land of the free, they say, home of the brave. But everybody got to fight for everything. Blacks got to
Everybody.
fight for everything. Women got to fight for everything. You got all kind of bodies of people that have to fight for rights. Why? Why can't people get basic things like they need education, employment, politics, freedom for choice, violence and discrimination, do away with those things. It's something that we always have to fight something to get what we need, not what we want, but what we need.
Well, when I would begin to look at this, is women need equal rights, safety, and access to opportunities like education and health care, as well as society free from violence and discrimination. If that's a problem that we have all over the world, discrimination and violence against women, violence, and they take and don't mind discriminating. They also need the right to control their own body. Last year was the first time I really got into equal rights for women, and I found out that the Me Too movement was rights for women to have control. Oh, I didn't know that there was people controlling the women's body.
Yes, the powers that be, and that's the thing, when the powers that be want, us to do this or act this way or be this way, then, they put all that stuff into action. Just like we just finished talking about with this Epstein bill, to expose those that are in high places that are regulating our shenanigans. Then let's go back to the penal system, the system wherein people were incarcerated, and black men especially incarcerated because a system was set up for that. And so, we need to make sure that everybody have those equal rights, their access to anything that anybody else need. They need opportunity regardless of gender, economic equality. You all remember, look, that everybody couldn't buy a house or live in a certain community. And the thing about it is, okay, we've had blacks to fight against certain things, but then here come women who didn't have a chance to vote, didn't have the right to vote, don't have the rights to this, that, and there's another fight. And so equality and rights have to be a part of society so everybody can have a chance.
Isn't it amazing how folks come up with different rights and rules and regulations over the human body, over the human being? Isn't it crazy how so many folks can have the right justice, can have the right to speak over your life? I was totally amazed the other day when I found out that your child at the age of 13, 14 years old has the right to not allow mom and them to come back and see what the doctors are saying about them. Now, where is the power at? Where's the power of family? Where's the power of mom and dad? Where's the power where a woman knows what's best for her body, cannot speak and say, hey, look, I don't want this. Where is the freedom of speech? Where is justice when folks are dictating to you that you got to go this way? I am so appalled of how medical science says that I give you some high blood pressure medicine and it all gives you kidneys infection, diabetes, and cause you to have sugar. Where is the freedom of speech where you don't have to take none of that?
And who implements these things? Who is in control of, okay, let me tell you that you can't do this with your body, or you can't, vote, or you can't, get the education you need, or you can't buy a house over there. What evil is in place where you can't have the things that any other human being needs and wants?
They said freedom from violence. Women need to live without fear of violence, including domestic abuse and sexual assault. Yeah, they need that. They need to be free from that. You know,
Yeah,
I mean,
yes.
and not they need to really this need to be really talked about or put on Congress notes where they can say they got to write. That's why so many women now are packing. There were so many women now are carrying pistols and knives, because they sick and tired of somebody violating their space. Somebody they
Mhm.
got to go through domestic abuse. I believe that if you don't want the woman, don't you ain't got to beat her up, make her, because you didn't get her that way. Send on back home the way you got her.
Well, the thing about it, laws have not protected women like they should have, and that's where we have this thing, this Epstein thing, wherein the powers that be, they say some have allowed this system to be there, been there for a while. They have not protected young women or women in general. It's like, okay, you all have your way. We want what we want. This one over here is in high places and say, hey, let all everything that you all want to do to children and anybody else, let's undercover get this done. I mean, this is what's going to be named in this Epstein, what's going to be exposed. It's the powers that be. It's a system that's there that says we're not going to protect girls, we're not going to protect women. You all have your way. I mean, they trafficked and have done all kind of things because there were people that could allow these things to happen. Safety and protection, freedom from all forms of violence, just like you said. Domestic violence, they need to have women safer rules and laws where women don't have to fear, after she breaks up with a man or if she has a disagreement with a man, that she's going to be assaulted and hurt.
That's right. Where's the Congress at? Where's the
No,
folks that we have put in high
no.
places? Where's our votes go to when we got so much of this stuff going around? Women just got rights I think it was in the 60s when they could vote. Women just got the rights to do this and got the
Mm.
rights. Why is it taking so long for folks, to fulfill the obligations? What are our Congresses are doing? What are they sitting there taking and listening and being dictated to, and not even concerned about the household, about women and of all mankind? What is our governors are doing?
I tell you what, in 2025, it's a shame that women still can't get their fair wages. They can't get the same wages for the same job that men are doing. It's a shame that we still have to fight for these things. It is just really, people that are, like I said, there that are just constantly keeping groups of people down and saying, look, we're not going to let you be on an even plane. We're not going to access you to the same jobs or the same education. We're not going to protect you. We're not going to give you your civil rights. And people have to actually fight. Women are still fighting, Mr. E, for pay, the same pay that a man may be doing. Uh, the system or the powers that be don't feel the need for a woman to have the right to make that do re mi. But this is the thing, in this day and time, you can stop it in one way, but in other ways, women are really excelling like I don't know what. You see more women in politics. They're owning their own homes. They got great jobs and careers, and then they have educated themselves so much so they are really their strides are just going higher and higher and higher.
When you begin to look at this should have been brought up years and years ago. When we go down to the polls, when we're electing a president, when we're electing
Mhm.
Congress, when we're electing our mayor, some of these candidates that ran for that ran for office should have put this a priority one on the
Mhm.
table, because the opportunity and the empowerment, education, that's for one. What's the purpose of going to a grade school and cannot further your
Mhm.
education? What's the purpose of sending your sons and make it a demand that you send your sons and your daughters to grade school and to college, and they can't go no further? They can't do nothing with the degrees that they have. Equal access to education is core for personal and professional development. They need to put this on the table. Congressmen and congresswomen and governors, this should be on the table every time that there is an election, because it doesn't make sense to me. And maybe it's some, when it comes to education, that you send your children to school, and send you send them to school and they cannot further their education or work in the fields that they went to college for, because it's the law has not passed it.
So this is what we need. We need economic empowerment, promote financial independence through equal access to job opportunities, fair wages, pay equity, entrepreneurship, and control over economic resources and property. This is the thing. Every woman is not going to be married or want to be married. There are some women, because of circumstances, have to become head of the household. My mother lost my father, and she had 7 children. All right, now she is the one that has to make sure she has the resources, education, everything that it takes to raise 7 children on her own.
No.
And regardless, if you have a husband or not a husband, a spouse or whatever, you should still have opportunity. And these are our needs. And these things should be where we can get our hands on every single thing, Mr. E, that we need in life.
So they're saying this: if the man is not in the house, or that what she should do is roll up in the corner, her and her children, ball up in a knot, and allow them to, not wait on some other cat, wait on somebody else. The opportunity in an empowerment of education, economy empowerment, control over their lives is what they need to. And then this is a powerful one that I thought was grand: support for caregivers.
Yes.
Society need to recognize and support the work women do.
Yes.
In caregiving roles.
Absolutely.
Which can often be unpaid. They should society should say, if they're taking care of the children, if they're taking care of the husband, if they're taking care of grandmama, if they're taking care of this person, that person, they should get paid for that. Because if you had to bring in somebody else, they're going to get paid.
I definitely like that, Mr. E. And then education and skills, we can go back to that. It says, ensure all women and girls have access to quality education at all levels, as well as vocational training and digital literacy, which are vital for self-sufficiency. Now, listen, ladies, these are some of the things we need, but these are some of the things that are out there as well. There are programs, there are some things for women out there, and it's up to you to go out and get these needs. Sometimes things are set up and you can complain and say, well, I don't have that, I don't have this, I don't. But if you look deep, if you research, there are some things that are out here set up for you to get exactly the things that you need.
That's why very important, Ms. Hinton, for you to pay for women and men to pay close attention to what's on the poll, what's out there on the dockets, what's saying out there, what congressmen and congresswomen are running for, what they're saying. Sometimes you got to get your congressman, your governor, your mayor. You got to put them to the table and say, I have a problem, I have a concern, because I have a culture and a social recognition. I value the contribution and voice in culture living. I want y'all to know that I've been doing some work that should be said, that you're not supporting me. I'm running myself ragged, trying to keep the house up. Now I got to go down and live below my means when I'm not getting paid. this what need to be done. Somebody need to write this down, and when the next election come, and they need to bring it to the table. Government, Congressman Johnny Doe, what you gonna do about the house, the women needs, the men need, and society needs? What you gonna do about us working our fingers down to the bone and nobody wants to pay? What you gonna do when we make decisions over our bodies? Well, the doctors want to know that you got this, and this. Who gonna pay me? Who gonna pay me? Who gonna pay me? This is your body. You ought to be able to say, I don't want you cutting on me.
Well, I tell you what, one of the key things that I can think of is women getting involved in their community, getting involved in politics, educating yourself, becoming the leaders so you can make change. And that's why it's so important for women to vote. At one time a woman couldn't vote, or that's another door that was closed. The door's open, and the opportunity to lead, to take and look at your household, look at your community, look at your world, and say, wait a minute now, I need to do something about it in some way or another. I'm going to run for delegate, or I'm going to run for city council, or I'm going to run for PTA president, or something. It's up to us actually to go out there and get the things that we need. They're out here. And then sometimes you have to fight for what you need. It's not going to be easy. You already know you got enemies. You already know you had a system that was set up to keep a woman down. You already know you have a system that will close the door on you and won't give you equal rights and equal pay and equal. That's why you have to be proactive, women. Get out here, get up, and don't think that folks are going to do it for you. Let me tell you something, as Mr. E, we can look right now at how things are unfolding. The government is sick and tired of taking care of folk. And they're so sick and tired that they are definitely pulling from under people these codependent systems and things like that. Now, you all may think it's cruel, and it may be cruel because some people need certain support. But you have people that are sitting back and dependent. And the government is saying, listen, we getting rid of all y'all codependent folk in some way or another. For that reason, you're going to have to fight for yourself, ladies. You're going to have to fight for your independence, your equal rights. You're going to start entrepreneurship, start your own business, get your own. Because if you sit back and you depend on these systems and these programs and stuff, and they're saying, look, we don't have the money for it, you're going to end up right there on the corner in the poorhouse.
And that's right. That's right. You got to look at the culture and the social recognition. You are contributing with your taxes. You are contributing to society. You are contributing to your local community by your contributions. Women contribution to societies in areas like leadership, cultures, families, and communities should be acknowledged and respect. You are putting your hard-earned dollars and your hard-earned coins out there, so you should be able to have a voice in your community and not just rolling with the punches, not just rolling because they said causes. And that's what laws are made. That's why you see President Trump always trying to change some laws and some rules and regulations to fit his status. And that's why we have to pull everything to the table and vote on it to let folks know that this is what we need. That's why we got government. That's why we got mayors. That's why we got House representatives. Yes. That's why we got district representatives, so that they can hear and understand what we are saying, so this make this world a better place to live.
Women, look out for yourself. Get out there and become leaders. Take care of your household. Go out there and fight for the jobs that you want. Make sure you're taking care of your health. Start businesses. Guess why? Because nobody wants to give you anything. They want you to fight to get it yourself. And that's why the powers that be close the door and they say, look, if you don't fight for it, we're not going to give it to you. Ladies, get smart, because things are going to change even more. And if you Don't get up and do something about your own life. You're going to be lost in the sauce.
And that's a great thing. That's a great word that you need to go to the poll, that you need to talk to your congressman, that you need to voice your opinion in the church house, in the courthouse, in the jailhouse, wherever you may be. You need to let somebody know this is my opinion and this is my feelings and I want to change.
Yeah, so look, we're going to see you all on Monday. I'll be here. Mr. E is going to be out Wednesday and Friday. We won't be here Thanksgiving, but hey, join me on Monday. We'll see you, and we're going to have a great time. God bless you. Enjoy your weekend.
For the past 30 minutes, you've been listening to the most talked about radio show in the whole wide world. That's FYI Radio Show with your host, Miss Yolanda, the Lady Hinton. I'm Everette, the co-host. For more information, give us a call at 757-714-7861, or you can email us at fyradioshow@gmail.com. Don't forget to join us Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 9:30 to 10. And Miss Hinton going to be taking the ham because I'm going to the Olympics tryouts in Miami. So y'all have a wonderful, wonderful Thanksgiving. And hey, and have a good day. Bye now.
Yes. Ooh. It's Fun Friday. I hope you all have things to do, some great things for the weekend. Look, the holidays are right here. I'm excited. They have light shows here in the area. They have all kind of stuff going on at theme parks and all kind of conventions and things like that. I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to enjoying Thanksgiving with my family. I'm looking forward to going out of town and then coming back and being with you all again. We got some great shows coming up. We're going to have Earl Bynum up close and personal. He has a new book. We have Patricia Turner, Norfolk 17. I can't wait to share her story with you all. That's going to be a wonderful, wonderful show. Mr. E with Miss Turner. Tony Jones, community advocate. We're going to have Around the Town with Everette on our After Dark. Hot topics. You all have any suggestions for some hot topics? Let me know. We want you all in on it. I tell you what, TikTok, we're going to have you to start coming on our After Dark show and talking with us and sharing some of your views on some of the things that's happening in our world. So look, we'll also come back, not Wednesday coming up or Friday, but the following Monday with just a word from the lady and the Thanksgiving celebration ideas and things like that. So we're going to see you. Don't forget to subscribe to all our channels. And don't forget, you can be a special guest, intern, or sponsor. Now, make sure you inbox and tell us what you do. And Mr. E's going to give you the FYI Radio Show email address so you can say, hey, I'm this and that. I would love to share with your listeners and viewers. So, look, you all get this information. And make sure you contact us. Mr. E?
If you'd like to be a special guest sponsor of the FYI Radio Show or an intern, give us a call at 757-714-7861, or you can email us at FYIRadiosHowLive@gmail.com. Have a wonderful Thanksgiving. Have a wonderful weekend.
Yes, we'll see you on Monday. Look, enjoy your weekend. We'll see you back here. And just enjoy yourself, your life, and do something special this weekend.
Bye now.
Bye.